broke the single season sack record for safeties with 8.5. He leads his team in sacks. You got to take your attention on that, Kenny.
How trash is your defense that your safety leads the team in sacks? Like, he could easily get to 10 before the season's over.
Well, speaking of which, your boy Hassan Reddick had 5 sacks in the game, which is crazy in itself.
I don't think the Raiders passed on. I don't think the Raiders actually had a chance to draft him. But they definitely had a chance to trade for him last year, and they didn't do it.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm glad Arizona finally figured it out. Like, oh, we have a guy who was a corner in college. He walked on in college as a fucking cornerback. And had that athleticism and put on like 60 pounds to become an All-American edge rusher. And then when they get him in the league, oh, let's use him as a fucking coverage linebacker who we occasionally rush. And they're like, oh, wait, no, if we just use him as what, he actually is, a pass rusher, ever since Chandler Jones busted his bicep again, oh, shit, he looks like an all-pro. Imagine had we done that earlier. It's like if they don't overthink it with Hassan Riddick and Clemson linebacker Isaiah Simmons, if they don't overthink it with those guys, they'll be all pros. Like, Simmons runs a 4.3, 7 or 8. That's damn near 6'3", 240, 6'4", 240. This dude is like 6'2", 6'3", running a 4.5, and he has 5 sacks in the game. Like, come on. Like, which goes back to the old adage, sometimes it's not the player, it's the system.
Yeah. Which...
Same way the Raiders defense is trash because they passed on countless of great players.
Shout out to Rob Marinelli, the new defensive coordinator. Probably well respected in the league, but there's a reason why he hasn't been a head coach.
I don't know what's worse.
The reason why he hasn't had success as a head coach, I should say, because he was a head coach. I forgot.
Isn't he 0-16 with the Lions?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's me. All I know is it's painful to watch, man.
Well, they did have missed like 7 starters, but those 7 starters were already trash, so just roll out trash on trash. All right, a couple more things I forgot about. Announced from the league this week, Nickelodeon will be doing a special broadcast of the wild card games. They just did one on Monday night. They're going to be doing it for wild card as well, where they'll have googly eyes on players. They'll have like a bunch of like explosions and like slime and shit like that to like kind of animate it, Snapchat style filters. I heard it described. So you got to take your attention on Nickelodeon trying to make the game interesting for the kids.
I hope if they use Jets, if they play Jets games, that they just use
Jets won't be in the playoffs.
Fart sounds.
Okay, I'm with that.
Yeah, that'll work.
Sounds and just old school.
SpongeBob's gonna have his own pregame show.
I hope they like bring back cousin Skeeter just to talk shit, and then like have a Urkel come in and be like, "Did I do that?" Like, honestly, it'll be hilarious. Just like cartoon the shit up. Have SpongeBob and Patrick do guest commentary. Like, that would be perfect.
All right.
Some of these defenses are cartoonish.
Also from the playoffs, the NFL sent a memo making it official that they will not have bubbles as recommended for the playoffs. It will be business as usual. Teams will be traveling. In addition to that, they've talked about sending vaccinated health workers to the Super Bowl to kind of facilitate that and be in the area and administer tests and all that sort of stuff. So take a tangent on the NFL's postseason plans.
Or the lack thereof.
Yeah, pretty much.
Honestly, I'm more concerned with the fact that Eric Garcetti turned down a cabinet position with Biden and Harris because he wants to stay in California because he has work to do.
Yeah, I don't think he's
not
gonna
wrong.
get elected again.
I just want to see how, like, it's bad enough that, like, San Francisco 49ers are pretty much, like, bumming it on the couch of the Arizona Cardinals, and they're, like, bitter rivals. But they'll probably be closer as a franchise. It's like, they'll get drunk. Like, neither one of them will make the playoffs. Like, they'll get drunk one night, one thing leads to another, and then boom, somebody's pregnant.
All right, probably the best thing from this Thursday night game was John Gruden rolled out in the Oakland Raiders hat. So you got to take or a tangent on that, Kenny.
I still call them the Oakland Raiders when I'll be typing stuff out and then I have to autocorrect it. Like, my mom would be like, so how Raiders doing? I'm like, Oakland should be kind of, I talk about them as the Oakland Raiders.
It's kind of like when somebody says, like, oh, they're talking about their ex-girlfriend, and like to someone who knows their ex-girlfriend, and you're like, dude, like, you can just say the person's name. Like, I know who that person is. Like I knew them before I knew you. I know them as their name, not just your ex-girlfriend. Like, you're like, oh yeah, I guess I could.
You're like, why are you treating it like a possession? It happens like that.
Like, the Raiders existed before Vegas, so it's okay to call them by their proper name. Speaking of which, Mark Ingram gave Lamar Jackson a new nickname this past week, El Freaky. Take her tangent on that.
I don't think he pulled a Paul Pierce, but I definitely think he probably. It's like sometimes you got to take a shit during the middle of the game. So like,
just be like that, bro. Like, so can I start calling you K Freaky?
Don't call me K Freaky. Don't call me K Freaky, bro.
All right, man. So with that,
and then start this podcast with LLC and just cut you out financially. You call me K Freaky.
Whatever. I forgot to say it at the top of the show, but I'll say it now. Shout out to the Good News Sports. Shout out to the Good News radio station, FBC affiliates, FBC radio and X Squad affiliates. I'm sorry, as well as all your favorite podcast apps. With that, let's go ahead and get to the rants. Izzy, do you want to go ahead and start first?
Yeah, who is Joe Pesci and why is he in so many rap songs?
That's a good question. I've always wondered that.
Me too.
Joe Pesci?
I kind of like.
No, I know who he is. I just don't know why he's in rap songs.
Oh, Goodfellas.
An iconic actor for some of the stuff he's done. You seen Casino?
Yeah, if for these rap
Probably
references,
saw it on
on
FX once.
And Godfather. Don't talk about like Lethal Weapon and Home Alone. It's Casino and the Goodfellas, to where he's that Italian gangster, as well as the Irishman that's on Netflix. But he as far as your kind of Italian mob boss, Joe Pesci is the man, and he's a crazy little shit. So that I would recommend Irishman on Netflix, which is kind of a slow burn, but the Casino and Goodfellas to definitely get into your proper Joe Pesci attire.
He's like Thanos if Thanos and Danny DeVito were combined as one person. He's serious Danny DeVito.
He's a little tall.
He's little.
He's short, yeah.
They're both short. He's a little bit taller than Danny DeVito, but like.
Well, Danny DeVito's 4'10".
Yeah.
All right, Izzy, go ahead. This is your time.
No, that was everything. I thought Joe Pesci was in the into football. So my brain is obviously not educated to where it needs to be. But
Well, now you have some weekend watching.
Exactly. It's crazy that we have to be like, we're doing this from Zoom.
Yeah.
But yeah, just stay safe. It's not worth a party. It's not worth having fun with your friends. The vaccine is so close. So yeah, just
sounds so sad.
Dude,
bummed me out. You bummed me out. I felt bad for people your age. It's a shitty time to be in your early 20s.
Oh no, that's okay. We're just gonna go twice as hard once this is over.
Yeah, that's what you guys always do. That's the problem. That's the other problem.
They got a role like older people.
Gen Z, baby.
Millennials and Gen Z are a lot alike.
All right, Eric.
Man, just try not to blow up at any stranger for the littlest things. I mean, I'm locked up in my house and I see like my neighbors wanting to bite each other's heads off right now. You're screaming at children for making noise. It's like things are tense. It's so tense. Even like today, it was a hard one, just a hard, sad day, and nonetheless, like having to take care of my puppy who got neutered yesterday. It's just like everything is just tense. So, there's 2-3 more weeks of 2020. Let's just survive the rest of the year. That's all I got.
Kenny, you're up.
Cool. So breaking news: the Sun Belt got canceled because everybody has COVID. The Sun Belt Championship game. So there goes that. But man, yeah, y'all stay safe out there. Like the process I went through, just waiting 3 hours to get tested, and people in the line were calm, but you can tell it's a stressful environment. Like the nurses and everybody, doctors are trying their best. Like, they're staying upbeat, they're cracking jokes. Like, just remember these healthcare practitioners, and I'm not just saying this because I'm technically an essential worker too, and I deal with psycho ass people at my job. But like, people are trying to stay sane and have the best outlook on life they can. And man, if you know someone who might be depressed or might be alone right now, reach out to them. You may think, oh, no, I don't need to text that person. They don't want to hear from me. Nah, you're probably the exact person they need to hear from or talk to. Like, I was in the ladies' night earlier this week and last week, and they were talking about how, like, some 12-year-old boy killed himself live. He shot himself live on Zoom, but his Zoom was muted. But his sister, who was in the next room, heard it all, went to go check on him, and everybody heard her screaming and crying, like, oh, my God, my brother killed himself on her Zoom. And, like, we're in a time where, like, yeah, we're adults, we're older. It's slightly inconveniencing us, but we got to look at how it's affecting the kids. Like, it's crazy out here. So, I mean, like, anytime you can reach out to younger people, or someone who might be alone or whatever, like, reach out to them, have a conversation with them. That might be the thing they need to keep them going, because humans by nature, like, we need to be connected. Like, it's not healthy to just always be on your own. And, if you have to, smoke a bowl. Yeah. Just stay safe out here, y'all. Happy holidays.
So I guess it's my turn. First of all, shout out to you guys. It's not the same here without you. I know I haven't been here the past few weeks. That's why I'm here this week, because, yeah, I didn't have to worry about being exposed to anything. But besides that, I'm trying to thank you guys for keeping the shit moving, especially you last week, Izzy. I know you kind of like stepped into something new, which is kind of like interviewing, which is something that you're still learning, which you did a good job. So shout out to you, booking a Birmingham legend.
Thank you.
And
that
also,
was fun.
And also working with the West Coast people. Yeah,
I
me
do.
too. Me too. But
It's all right next year.